Hello everyone! So ngayon pag-uusapan natin ang hydropower. So ano nga ba ang hydropower? Ang hydropower o hydroelectric power ay isang paraan ng paggawa ng kuryente gamit ang lakas ng umaagos o bumabagsak na tubig. Isa ito sa pinakamatagal at pinakamalinis na renewable energy source dahil hindi ito gumagamit ng fossil fuels. Karaniwang ginagamit ang mga ilog, dam o talon para makagawa ng energy. So, ang simpleng flow ng hydropower ay nahati sa tatlo. Una, tubig, susunod sa turbine, then generator. So, ang tubig mula sa dam ay iniipon sa mataas na lugar. At kapag pinawalan, mabilis at malakas ang daloy nito pababa dahil sa gravity. Habang dumadaloy ang tubig, tinatamaan nito ang turbine at pinapaikot ito na parang isang malaking rotor na may blades. Ang turbine ay nakakabit sa generator, kaya kapag umikot ito, ikot din ang generator at dito nagkakaroon ng electricity.
Uh, Largest hydroelectric power plants in the world. First, Three George Dam. Installed capacity 22,500 megawatts. River Yangtze River, Yichang, Hubei province in China. It is the largest power station in the world. It also plays a major role in flood control and energy supply. Next, Baihetan Dam. It is the second largest hydro plant globally, part of China's massive cascade system. Third, Itaipu Dam, one of the highest annual energy producers due to steady water flow. Next, Silwodu Dam, major component of China's west to east power transmission strategy. Next, Belonte Dam, use a run-of-river design, capacity varies seasonally. Guri Dam, it is the backbone of Venezuela's electricity supply, provides a large portion of Venezuela's electricity. Wudongde, Wudongde Dam, advanced arc dam with high efficiency turbines. To Tukuruwi, Tukuruwi Dam, one of the first mega hydro projects in the Amazon region. Siangdiaba Dam supports power transmission to East China. And last, Grand Coulee Dam, largest hydroelectric plant in North America.
Good day everyone! Ako nga pala si John Michael A. De Rosario at dito naman tayo sa largest hydropower plants in the Philippines and their importance to our energy supply. So, una ay ang Magat Dam. Ang Magat Dam ay isang hydroelectric power plant na may kapasidad na 380 megawatts, making it one of the largest in Luzon. Ginawa ito noong 1975 at natapos noong 1982. So, this dam is a multi-purpose facility used not only for power generation but also for irrigating around 85,000 hectares of land. Pangalawa ay ang San Roque Dam. Meron itong kapasidad na 345 megawatts at isa to sa pinakamataas na dams sa Southeast Asia. Natapos to noong 2003 at it plays a major role in flood control, irrigation, and electricity generation. Ang susunod ay ang Angat Dam. So, the Angat Dam produces 246 megawatts of electricity. And aside from power generation, ito rin yung main source ng water supply ng Metro Manila. Kaya ito ay isa sa pinaka-importanteng dam sa ating bansa. Susunod ay ang Binga Dam. Ang Binga Dam ay mayroong kapasidad na 140 megawatts and It works together with Ambuklao Dam along the Agno River to generate power and regulate water flow. Next is the Pantabangan Dam. Itong Pantabangan Dam, meron siyang capacity na 100 megawatts at isa to sa malaking dam sa Southeast Asia in terms of storage, water storage. It is widely used for irrigation and power generation. Next naman ay ang Agus Hydroelectric Complex. Ito ay isang series of hydroelectric plants with combined capacity of over 1,000 megawatts. Ito naman ay kinoconsider na major source of electricity in Mindanao, supplying power to a large part of the region. So lastly ay ang Pulangi 4 Hydroelectric Plant. Ito ay mayroong kapasidad na 255 megawatts at ito ay isang key hydropower source in Mindanao. It helps meet the region's growing energy demands. So in conclusion, hydropower plants are essential because they provide renewable energy, support agriculture, and help manage water resources in the Philippines.
Good day everyone, I'm Julian Miel S. Pangilinan from BSEE 3B. Today, I will be discussing the main parts of the hydropower plant. Hydropower plant are the one of the most reliable and renewable resources of electricity. These plants converts the energy from flowing water into electrical energy that we use in our homes, schools, and industries. There are 5 main parts of hydropower plant that works together to produce electricity. These are the dam, intake, turbine, generator, and water flow system. Each part has an important function in ensuring efficient power generator. First, let's discuss the dam. The dam is the large structure built across a river to store water in a reservoir. The stored water creates potential energy because of its height. The higher the water level, the more energy it can produce or release. Dams are usually made from strong materials like concrete, earth, or rock. These materials help the dam hold back large amount of water safely. The dam also help control flooding by regulating water levels during heavy rainfall. Another important function of the dam is controlling the amount of water that flows into the hydropower plant. When electricity demand increases, operators release more water from the dam. When demand decreases, less water is released. This makes hydropower plant flexible and efficient in producing electricity based on demand. Next is the intake. The intake is the entrance where water flows from the reservoir into the hydropower plant. It acts as a control point that regulates the amount of water entering the system. The intake contains gate and screens. These screens filter out debris such as leaves, branches, and other unwanted materials. This is important because debris can damage the turbine and reduce the efficiency of the plant. When the intake gates open, water flows into large pipes called penstocks. These penstocks carry water toward the turbine at high pressure. The intake ensures that only controlled and cleaned water enters the system. Now, let us move to the turbine. The turbine is the part of hydropower plant that converts water energy into mechanical energy. When water flows through the turbine, it pushes the blade and causes them to spin. This spinning motion is similar to a fan rotating when air passes through it. However, in hydropower plant, flowing water is used instead of air. There are different types of turbine used in hydropower plant. These include Kaplan turbine, Francis turbine, and Pelton turbine. Each type is designed for different water flow, conditions, and pressure levels. As the turbine spin, it rotates a shaft connected to the generator. The faster the turbine rotates, the more electricity can be produced. The next main part is the generator. The generator converts mechanical energy from the turbine into electrical energy. When the turbine spins, it turns the generator shaft. Inside the generator, there are magnet and coils of wire. When the shaft rotates, the magnetic field moves around the coil. This movement produces electricity through magnetic induction. Generator is hydropower plant. Generator in hydropower plant are usually very large and powerful. Some hydropower plant generator can supply electricity to thousands of volts. After electricity is generated, it is sent to transformer to increase voltage before it transmit through power lines. Finally, we have the water flow system. The water flow system control how water moves throughout the hydropower plant. It includes penstock, draft tubes, and tail raised channels. The penstock is a large pipe that carries water from the intake to the turbine. Water flows at high speed through the penstock to ensure pressure for turbine rotation. After passing through the turbine, water enters the draft tube. The draft tube slows down the water and directs it safely toward the tail race. The tail race returns the water back to the river. This allows the water to continue flowing naturally without being wasted. These five main parts, dam, intake, turbine, generator, and water flow system, work together to convert water energy into electricity. Water continuously flows through the system, allowing hydropower plant to generate electricity efficiently and reliable.
Now let's talk about how hydropower plants works. The process starts sa pag-store ng tubig sa dam. Ang tubig na ito ay tawagin nating potential energy dahil stored siya sa higher elevation. Kapag nirelease ang water na to mula sa dam, the gravity pulls it downward. The water flows through a large pipe as the water moves with high pressure and speed. It reaches the turbine. Sa baba naman yung turbine. The turbine works like a giant fan. Alam naman natin kung paano gumagana ang turbine. So, the force of the water galing sa taas ang magpapaikot sa blade na nasa baba. So, nabago yung energy natin from potential energy into mechanical energy. After that, di ba, napaikot na yung turbine. Ngayon, si turbine ay connected to a generator. From there, makikreate na ng electromagnetic induction. So, alam na natin ang mangyayari. Magkakaroon na ng electricity na connected sa transformers and then connected sa DUs to power the homes, school, or some industries. Let's give some example dito sa hydro power plant. Meron dito sa Nueva Ecija, ang tawag is the Pantabangan Masiway Hydroelectric Power Plant. Isa itong 132 megawatt na power plant, owned and operated by FirstGen. The complex is located sa dito sa Nueva Ecija, na meron siyang two components.
the 100 megawatt Pantabangan Hydroelectric Plant. Na-commissioned siya noong 1977. And yung isa naman, 12 megawatt Masiway Electric Plant. Commissioned naman siya noong 1981. Both plants are part of a multi-purpose hydro complex that supplies irrigation water for the vast rice fields of Central Luzon, approximately 180 kilometers northeast of Metro Manila. So, unlike sa ibang hydro plant, the Pantabangan Masiway, another purpose din siya yung magbigay ng tubig sa mga landfill, sa mga magsasaka. So, from the dam, pababa sa turbine, ang another out ay papunta yung tubig sa mga magsasaka para magamit sa palay. So, yes.
Now let's analyze the transmission of electricity through an engineering lens. We know that power generation is often located far from the load centers. Because of the long distances involved, efficiency is our primary concern. This system isn't just about moving electrons, it's about managing impedance, voltage drops, and thermal limits across the grid. We will focus on the role of the transformer, the math behind voltage conversion, and the topology of distribution. First, let's talk about the heart of the system, the transformer. As EE students, we know it's a static machine that work on Faraday's law. Kapag nag-apply tayo ng alternating current sa primary coil, nagkikreate ito ng varying magnetic flux sa core, which then induce a voltage sa secondary coil. Ang role nito is essentially impedance matching and voltage regulation. Hindi lamang ito basta nagbabago ng voltahe. Tinitiyak nito na we can isolate the generating source from the load. Remember, any change in voltage affects the current inversely to maintain the power equation. Sa transformer din, natin nako-consider ang core losses like hysteresis and eddy currents, which are vital factors when we design an efficient network. So sa voltage conversion naman, dito na papasok ang pinaka-critical na logic. Bakit kailangan nating i-convert ang voltage? Simple lang ang sagot, efficiency. Sa power plant side, gumagamit tayo ng step-up transformer. We increase the voltage up to hundreds of kilovolts, 115 kilovolts or 200 kilovolts dito sa Philippine grid. Why? Because of the formula for the line loss, which is I squared R. If we transmit at a high current, almost all of our power will be dissipated as heat through the conductor's resistance. By stepping up the voltage, the current drops. Since the loss is proportional to the square of the current, even a small reduction in current leads to a massive gain in efficiency. Pagdating naman sa load centers, dadaan ito sa step-down transformer for safety. We cannot deliver 230 kilovolts directly to households because of insulating breakdown limits and safety protocols. We step it down to primary distribution levels and eventually to the standard 220 volts. Ngayon naman ay ang distribution to consumers. Lastly, let's discuss this. This is the last mile of the power system. From the transmission substation, lilipat ang kuryente sa distribution substations. Dito, we deal with three-phase AC systems. Engineers monitor the power factor and load balancing here. Kung ang isang phase ay overloaded kumpara sa iba, magkakaroon tayo ng instability and inefficiency. Ang electricity ay dadaan sa primary lines, then sa mga distribution transformers na nakikita nyo sa mga poste. Ito yung mga step-down transformers na nagbababa ng kuryente into 220 volts, single phase or three phase for industrial users. Ang design na ito ay pwedeng radial o iisang linya lang o loop network configuration para sa redundancy. Para kung may isang line na mag-trip, may alternative path pa rin ang kuryente. To wrap up, the transmission of electricity is a complex balancing act of physics and economics. Mula sa pag-minimize ng losses, gamit ang step-up transformers hanggang sa pag-manage ng load distribution sa ating mga barangay. Every step is calculated to ensure that power is stable, safe, and efficient. Our understanding this principle is fundamental to our roles as future power engineers.
So in the last part of this video, pag-uusapan natin ang hydropower plant construction and dam design. Kung paano ito ginagawa, ano ang mga challenges sa paggawa nito, at ano ang mga factors na nakakaapekto sa power output. Ang hydropower ay isang paraan ng pag-generate ng kuryente gamit ang energy na dumadaloy o bumabagsak na tubig. Sa system na ito, ang tubig ay dumadaan sa turbine. Pinapaikot ito at ang turbine naman ay konektado sa generator na nagpo-produce ng electricity. Pero bago mangyari ang lahat, kailangan muna natin ng dam. So ang dam, ang pinakamalaking structure na ginagawa para i-store at controlling ang flow ng water. Sa pag-design ng dam, unang tinitignan ang location. Kailangan meron kang sapat na water source tulad ng mga ilog. May tamang elevation para magkaroon ng pressure. At stable na lupa para suportahan ang structure ng dam. Pagkatapos ng site selection, ginagawa ang planning at design. May iba't ibang klase ng dam tulad ng gravity dam. Gumagamit ito ng sariling bigat para labanan ang pressure ng tubig. Arc dam, curve shape para i-distribute ang force. Embankment dam, gawa sa lupa at bato. Yun yung mga typical na nakikita nyo or parang mga sinaunang dam. Paano nga ba ginagawa ang dam? Step number 1, site preparation. Nililinis muna ang area. Tinatanggal ang mga puno at bato o anumang obstruction. Step 2, diversion of water. Inire-redirect muna ang daloy ng tubig para magkaroon ng working area. Step 3, foundation construction. Inaayos ang foundation, pinapatibay ito dahil dito nakasalalay ang buong dam. Step 4, main structure construction. Dito na binubuo ang dam gamit ang concrete, steel, o earth materials depende sa design. Installation of components, which is our step 5. Kasama dito ang turbines, generators, spillways, at control gates. Step 6 is reservoir filling. Unti-unting pinupuno ng tubig ang dam para masigurong stable ito. Ano-ano? At syempre, hindi mabubuo ang dam kung hindi natin alam ang mga materials na ginagamit sa construction nito. Maraming materyales ang ginagawa sa paggawa ng hydropower plant, kagaya lamang ng concrete, which is ang pangunahing material para sa dam dahil matibay at kayang humawak ng malaking pressure. Steel, ginagamit sa reinforcement, turbines, at structural supports. Earth and rock, ginagamit naman ito sa mga embankment dam. Copper para sa electrical wiring at generator components. Rubbers and sealants para maiwasan ang leakage. So itong mga materials na used or na list as dito in construction is hindi po yan yun lahat. So marami po yan. Hindi na natin iisa-isahin. Kasi aabutin tayo ng siyam. Hindi aabot. So sobra tayo sa oras ngayon. Mahalaga ang pagpili ng materials. Nakadepende ito sa design, budget, at environmental conditions. Diyan papasok ang challenges sa construction. Hindi madali ang magpagawa ng dam. Maraming challenges na pwedeng ma-encounter, kagaya na lamang ng environmental impact. Maaaring maapektuhan ng ecosystem, wildlife, at nearby communities. High cost. Napakamahal ng construction. Kailangan ng malaking investment para makapagpatayo ka ng isang dam. Geological issues. Kung hindi stable ang lupa, pwede magkaroon ng cracks and magkukos yun ng destruction ng dam. Weather conditions. Malakas na ulan o bagyo ay pwede makadelay ng construction ng dam. Displacement of people. Minsan kailangan ilipat ang mga komunidad sa area para makapagpatayo ka ng dam. So, ibig sabihin, parang kailangan i-relocate natin yung isang barangay into another place kasi nga magpapatayo ka ng dam and which is tatamaan sila or maapektuhan sila doon sa ginagawang dam. So, factors affecting power output. Pag-usapan naman natin ngayon kung ano ang nakaka-apekto sa power output ng hydropower plant. Yung flow rate sa dami ng tubig na dumadaloy kada segundo. Pag maraming tubig, mas malaking power. Ibig sabihin, mas madaming flow na tubig, mas umiikot ang generator, mas maraming nade-develop na power. Head. Ito ang height kung saan bumabagsak ang tubig. Mas mataas na drop, mas malakas na energy. Isipin nyo na lang, mas malakas yung ikot ng turbine, ibig sabihin, mas malakas ang generation ng energy natin. And efficiency, performance ng system, which is yung turbine and generator natin. Ibig sabihin, mas efficient, mas maraming energy yung mako-convert. So, what we mean by efficient is minimize natin yung energy loss natin dito sa ating turbine at generator. Sa madaling salita, kailangan natin ng mas malakas ang agos, mas mataas ang dam, at mas efficient ang system para makakuha tayo ng mataas na power output. Ngayon, pag-usapan naman natin kung bakit nga ba importante ang dam design sa power generation. So, ang dam design ay direktang nakakaapekto sa performance ng hydropower plant. Kung maayos ang design, stable ang water supply, controlled ang flow, at consistent ang power generation. At kung hindi naman, pwede magkaroon ng energy loss o mas malala na mag-cause ng structural failure or pagkabuwag or pagkasira ng mismong dam. So, in summary, ang dam ay ginagamit para i-store at kontrolin ang tubig. Dumadaan ang tubig sa turbine at generator para mag-develop or mag-generate ng kuryente. May iba't ibang types ng dam depende sa design at depende sa site na pagtatayuan ng dam. Ang construction ay dumadaan sa several steps mula sa preparation hanggang operation. Maraming materials ang ginagamit tulad ng concrete, steel, at earth materials. May mga challenges tulad ng cost, environment, at geological issues. And syempre, ang power output ay depende sa flow rate, head, at efficiency na na-discuss natin kanina. And dun po nagtatapos ang construction, design, and materials used in hydropower plant.